Hello and welcome to the Healthy Parents Update. It is February 2023. If you're new here, I'm Healthy Emmie. This is Healthy Mummy and Healthy Dad. They transitioned to a plant-based lifestyle. They are now slim on starch. And believe it or not, they're in their 60s and transitioned in their late 50s. So it can happen for anyone at any time. And we are checking in with them monthly to see how it is going. By the way, if you're new here, hey, I'm Healthy Emmie. I'm a nutritionist and the creator of the Slim on Starch program. If you want to work with me, a nutritionist and a mindset coach in the Slim on Starch program to lose weight, click the link in the down bar. Let's start out with Healthy Mummy telling us what your primary food for the past month was. Primary foods being things that are not what we put in our mouth, but what nourish our soul.
Well, I'm going to go for a tie this time around for my primary foods because I have been playing the piano again and also knitting. So those are the things that I gravitate toward in my free time, and I'm really enjoying it. No pressure, experimenting with new things, and enjoying it.
This one's easy. Mom retired last month. When I retired, people were worried that there were things that I was going to be bored because I was going to have nothing to do. But I was more excited about the things that I didn't have to do. And so I haven't had to see the angst the night before work, her hair on end coming home from work, and needing a week to recover from one day of work. So, that has been tremendous, and the fact that I get serenaded at lunch by piano playing every single day is just great. So I got two good reasons.
Sometimes when we will actually always, as a former math teacher, when you subtract a negative, you get a positive. Mm-hmm. So you took away, when we take away that negative energy, you get to enjoy just mom. Mm-hmm. And that reminds me of when you first went on Slim on Starch, you said, well, actually what I've learned is what's more important than what I do eat is actually what I'm not eating. Mm-hmm. So getting rid of the negative. Let's do our favorite secondary food of the month. Secondary food is the food that's on your plate. And they've been known to pick from the Healthy Mummy and Healthy Dad cookbooks. So Healthy Mummy, what has been your go-to secondary food this month?
All right, I really didn't plan this, but I've got a tie again because I really enjoy the Dad's Veggie Burgers. I mean, I really enjoy them. And even without a healthy slice of bread, they're delicious. I've had them both ways in the past couple of weeks. And it would be tied also with Healthy Dad's veggie wraps, tofu wraps, which we had last night. We had our son over for dinner. And I didn't want this wrap to end. I didn't want there to be no more bites left. And it occurred to me how important it is really to have really different flavors and textures in your food when you adopt this lifestyle, because that's what it's all about. I like things hot and crunchy, and I put all those ingredients in my wrap. It was delicious.
That reminds me of something that we do in the Slim on Starch program, which is we have the clients identify their satisfaction factors and what they really need. And I know the things that make you feel satisfied. Yeah. Oh, and I know that you love Thursday nights as veggie burger nights so much because I've been thinking one of our primary foods that we're going to do for this month, the month of March, is watch The Real Housewives together. New Jersey is coming back. And I was thinking it's on Wednesdays, right? And I go, well, I can't have you come over on Thursdays because then you'd miss veggie burger night. Right. So what are we going to do? So we have to talk about that, what we're going to do this week. Yeah, we'll have a meeting after this meeting about when we're going to watch Real Housewives. But Dad, what has been your go-to secondary food?
Well, timing is everything. So for those of you that live in the Northeast or a lot of the country know that here yesterday morning it was 11 below zero. So we had Mexican stew. And we had it Friday night, and I actually had it for lunch yesterday. We do have enough left over because, again, king of the leftovers, that it might be a soup and wrap kind of, stew and wrap kind of night, which, everything seems to be double this conversation. Yeah. So, but that one, and again, with all my recipes kind of, not set in stone, I threw in some hot cherry peppers for yesterday's lunch, and really gave it just the extra edge that it needed when it was 11 below zero.
Yeah, with all the recipes and with this entire lifestyle, I'll have new clients that go, oh, well, I don't like celery or I don't like mushrooms or I'm allergic to this one thing. There are so many different vegetables that you can add, you can take away, and all of our recipes, they are not set in stone. You can tweak them to your needs. Let's talk about wins for the month of January. What win or wins would you like to share, Mom?
It occurred to me the other day, now that I'm not working anymore, how the SOS lifestyle is just part of my life, because I'm continuing to eat and make my soups as I would as if I was going to work. So nothing has fallen apart. I haven't fallen off the wagon. The wheels haven't fallen off the bus. All good. And I also, of late, have been having some fruits around the house that I really enjoy. In this part of the country, it's Cara orange season, which is an all-time favorite of mine. And it's a real good go-to when you're getting kind of hangry in the late afternoon.
What you just said is my exact goal for clients, which is to make this lifestyle so ingrained in who you are and part of your routine. It's like brushing your teeth and taking a shower. You don't even think about it. You get your soups and that's that. Right. Terrific. Dad, win that you would like to share?
I think a win for both of us this month, again, where Lisa has retired from her work, is that for the most part, both of us are sleeping much better. And because we've been talking about dreams, and what dreams tells me is that I'm going through the proper sleep cycles. Because for a long time, I couldn't remember if I dreamt or not. But now, again, I have those school dreams where I haven't done the work, and the papers do.
That is the only dream I have.
Were you going to school in your underwear? But again, it's I'm having those dreams, as funky as they may be, but it's telling me that I'm going through proper sleep cycles. So, which I know, because again, don't worry, it has no impact on my siesta in the afternoons. But that really is a win. I mean, it's like the belt got loosened that Lisa's home now, so it's good.
That is so funny that you say that, Dad, because I have been dreaming recently. I've never been a dreamer, and I have the same dream every single time. I don't have my schedule for class, and it's always in the old Natick High School.
Mine was graduate school. I was in graduate school and hadn't done the work.
Oh, that's not good.
There's no fallback from there.
All right, so a struggle. Have you gone through any struggles now that you're retired?
Things that Healthy Dad, is more easily able to incorporate into his diet. And trying very hard to steer away from. So that's still a temptation for me, always. Salty chips, anything like that. But I'm mindful of it and I'm good with it. But everybody has struggles, and that's mine.
I think it's important to recognize that temptation is completely normal. It's human nature to see a high calorie food and to be attracted to it. And to also recognize, I was reading a book today that was talking about how if you picture the worst thing that could ever happen to you, worst case scenario in anything in life, the worst that happens is you feel something uncomfortable. That's all that's waiting there, is a feeling. And if we can recognize that the worst thing that could ever happen to us is that we feel something really rotten, it all doesn't seem so scary and horrible anymore. So that feeling of feeling left out or feeling tempted, that's not going to hurt you. That's all it is that feeling. And having that feeling and recognize it, but then taking the actions that are aligned with who you want to be, that's where you come in and you grow with sitting in that discomfort. So I'm sure a lot of people watching can identify with that. And if you're not familiar, Healthy Mummy has genetically high cholesterol, so she really has to be on it with Slim on Starch in order to keep her cholesterol down. So that's why she can't eat some of the stuff that Healthy Dad does eat. Dad, any struggles?
I'm surprised Mom didn't mention it. Because her situation, as far as the challenges, she had her cataracts done this month. And around the same time, I hurt my knee. I don't know how I did it, but it was swollen. It really hurt. So what happened was it limited Mom's ability to do her daily yoga, and it completely shut me down from exercising and swimming. And, the byproduct of that, becoming fairly sedentary in the month of January, where there's no ability to play golf and there's really no ability to ride bikes, even though there's not snow and ice. It's still too cold to do it. Really made me aware that I actually enjoy having the ability to do those kind of things versus people that will say, I'll start exercising next month. I'll quit smoking after this pack or whatever it might be. But realizing that I couldn't do it reaffirmed that I have the ability to do it and I like doing it.
Health is a halo that can only be seen by the sick. And when we can't do those things, we stop saying, I have to go for a run. I get to go for a run.
Mm-hmm.
And I say the same thing with my clients in SOS. You don't have to eat SOS. You get to eat SOS. What a gift that you have the knowledge. You've been able to invest in the SOS program. You get to do all this and be healthy. Whereas a lot of people, so many people in this world don't have access to an internet to learn about these things or the foods to be able to eat healthy. What have you learned in the past month?
I have learned to dovetail on what Dad said on how important it is to keep moving. I was just a joke at work, as the older you get, you got to be like a shark. You got to keep moving. But when I couldn't do my typical yoga routine, I have an issue with one of my hips, and it hurt so badly. It ached, woke me up at night. It was bad. And I realized how important it is to stay limber and stretched and active. It really is the older you get.
I'm sorry that you had to go
but
through
it
that.
It was one night, and it made me realize how important yoga is.
What have you learned, Dad?
I have basically learned that I continue to reaffirm the good habits that I have as far as diet, exercise, sleep, watching my money, all those things. And, if something new needs to be incorporated to my daily life, I make sure I put it into the right place. But, at this stage of the game, we're not looking to complicate things. We're looking to just enjoy long days together. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is there anything coming up that you need help planning for?
Not so much help planning for. I'm really interested in looking into desserts, but not desserts, but snacks with very few ingredients. Just bananas and oats, and I'm looking into that. And I don't want to dovetail into butter and eggs again, but I'm gonna. That's where I think I'd like to start looking.
Dad, anything that you need help planning for?
No, as of right now, as you know, I'm a planner, so whatever may be underway is underway. I think we're both, even though we're still in the first week of February, kind of looking forward to the time when we can get outside and rake up the rest of the leaves, till the garden, and get ready to cutting the grass. I mean, my brand new snow blower is still sitting there, hasn't been used, but that's okay. I can deal with that. But no, we'll take everything as it comes. Again, the fewer the surprises, the better. It's the way we like it.
What positive changes are you going to make or continue to keep up for the month of February?
I'm going to go back to what I said in the beginning and just carry on as I have been. There's some other changes. Dad and I are talking about my new life post-work and post-weekly paycheck and what that looks like. So that's a good way to keep your brain learning new things, and I'm looking forward to that.
What about you, Dad?
I want to reaffirm again where I was unable to exercise. I want to reaffirm that when I go to the Y, be it to swim, be it to stretch, and maybe even start to lift a little bit, because I had tennis elbow, even though I don't play tennis, but make good use of the time that I spend there. Again, not just checking the box that I showed up. I went to the Y. Well, what'd you do at the Y? Well, I chit-chatted and looked around and went home. Not really. Yeah. And you'd be amazed at the folks that show up, and they look great, but they're not. A lot of them just aren't they're more on their phone than doing their exercises. It's puzzling to me that sure, they're not just sitting at home, but they're not making optimal use of the time there that they could be really gaining some ground and making an impact or a difference.
Thank you for joining us for today's monthly check-in with Healthy Mom and Healthy Dad. As a reminder, if you want to work with me in the Slim on Starch program, please just click the link in the down bar. Other than that, click subscribe so that you can check in with these hooligans next month. I love you, honeys, and I'll see you in my next video. Mwah.